Hey guys, welcome back to another video. My name is UFC Investor. In this video, we're going to be going over my bets, picks, and predictions for DeRidder versus Allen. We're going to be talking about fighters like Allen, DeRidder, JasmineJasudavicius, MelissaCroden. So it should be a good set of fights, guys. Let's get started with the first fight. Alright guys, so for the main event, we have ReinierDeRidder versus BrendanAllen. Guys, in this one, I don't want to BS you guys too long on this one. Guys, I'm going to be picking DeRidder. I feel like most people are. And I don't want to say it's obvious because Allen's taking this fight on very short notice. But it's mostly because of that, and I really do think DeRidder is better than Allen. Even if Allen had a full camp, I would still be picking DeRidder. If you guys think about it, DeRidder has actually been training for Khamzat, which is a way harder fight. He's gonna for sure be ready for whatever Allen has for him. In the grappling realm, even DeRidder's better there. I feel like he could actually sub Allen, but I don't know. I'm gonna be siding with the fact that maybe Allen can at least defend the submission threats and Ridder just takes him to a decision and wins there. But I can also see DeRidder getting the finish on this one. Right now the odds have DeRidder at a minus 200. Allen is a plus 170. And honestly guys, I'm actually surprised that DeRidder's only a minus 200. He opened up at a minus 250. I was expecting him to be like a minus 3, minus 400 because of the short notice fight from Allen. Because like I said guys, I really don't think Allen should win here. You know, the short notice, the skill, and just the momentum that Ridder has should be able to get him to win here. But Allen, if he were to win, you know, he might lock in a submission. You never know. And, you know, change up the game a bit. So, yeah, guys, let me know what you guys think about this one. Let's go to the next fight. All right, guys. So, in this next fight, we have KevinHolland versus MikeMalott. Guys, in this one, I was a little hesitant on picking Malott, but I think I like the pick. Holland just has not been doing great recently. As long as he survives whatever Holland throws at him, I feel like Malott should be able to point it out and maybe even get a robbery versus Holland if it gets to like a split decision or something like that. I do think Malott should be able to win, even though the odds have him pretty much at a pick 'em, minus 115 for Malott. Holland is a minus 105. So I was kind of thinking Malott would be a bigger favorite, but it seems like he opened up at a minus 150. But it seems like the automakers and the bettors agree that it's probably a pick'em, and I agree pretty much. I was kind of thinking Malott would be a bigger favorite, but I do see why Holland is so close to Malott. I do think in terms of skill, they're pretty close. And I don't want to call it a decline for Holland, but he just hasn't been getting, he didn't beat D-Rod, which I think he should have. I think he was not a massive favorite, but a minus like 400 in that one. And then before that, he only beat Vicente Luque, Gunnar Nelson. You know, not the best people. And he's been losing to bigger names like ReinierDeRidder, Roman Dolidze, Michael Page. MikeMalott is like on the edge of that. I feel like he could be good enough to beat Holland. The judges might lean a bit towards Malott. So yeah, guys, let me know what you guys think about this one. This one should be a good fight, but I'm going to be siding with Malott, getting pointing it out. All right, guys, so for this next fight, we have MarlonVera versus AiemannZahabi. Guys, in this one, I was pretty sure that I was going to pick Zahabi once I heard about the fight. I was just thinking, you know, Zahabi is probably just going to point it out and get a decision win. And I kind of still do think that. But I was a little bit surprised, just a little bit, to see that Zahabi was only a minus 131. Vera's a plus 111. And Zahabi actually opened up at a minus 250. So it seems like the odds makers think Zahabi should win here, more like what I was thinking, minus 250. But it seems like the bettors think that Marlon has a good chance here. And I can see why. If you guys just kind of, you know, ignore the losses and the wins, obviously. Cheeto has been fighting the way better people. He has a good chance to get a decision win over Zahabi. Maybe even a finish. But in this one, Zahabi just has the momentum. He's Canadian. He should be able to win this one, at least by decision. But still, I'll probably be putting like, you know, 50 cents on Vera to win by like split or like a TKO or something. But versus Zahabi, I feel like Zahabi is going to play safe and he's going to get a decision win. So let me know what you guys think about this one. Not crazy confident, but I like the Zahabi pick. Let's go to the next fight. All right, so for this next fight, we have ManonFiorot versus JasmineJasudavicius. Guys, in this one, again, once I saw it, I kind of knew I was going to be picking Manon. She's just the better fighter. You know, I don't want to judge her just based off the loss that she had versus Valentina. You know, she broke her nose early in those rounds. I think it was round 1 or 2, very early. They kind of played a big part as to how bad Manon did versus Valentina. So I don't really want to judge her based off that. I kind of want to just see her overall. And before that, she was on I don't even know how long of a, man, this is a long winning streak. It's a lot. So Manon is still very good. And she's going to be fighting Jasmine, who I would say her only path, not only, but main path to victory would be to grapple Manon, take her to the ground, and maybe even get a submission on Manon. But I just don't see that happening. I feel like Manon's going to have the takedown defense to stay up and outstrike Jasmine on this one. Right now, the odds have Manon at a minus 225. Jasmine's a plus 190. Manon opened up at a minus 200, so it seems like the odd makers kind of agree with the bettors. And I kind of agree too. I feel like Manon should be able to win this one. But in saying that, I am going to be betting like Jasmine to win by like split decision, maybe even a sub. I don't see her, KOing or TKOing Fiorot. I feel like Jasmine, if she were to win, it'd be like a split decision, maybe even unanimous if she just controls Fiorot. So I'm going to keep that in my head. I'll probably for sure bet Jasmine on this one, but I'll be picking Manon. I wouldn't bet Manon because I'm not crazy confident in her winning, but I can see it. I like the pick, and I'm not going to change this one. But regardless, I'll be picking Manon and betting Jasmine. Let me know what you guys think about this one. This one was pretty straightforward for me. Jasmine's probably just going to try to grapple, and Manon's just going to try to outstrike Jasmine and maybe even get a finish. So let me know what you guys think about this one. Let's go to the next fight. All right, guys. So in this next fight, we have CodyGibson versus Aoriqileng. Guys, in this one, I'm going to be picking CodyGibson. Honestly, I wasn't very too sure about this pick, but I just go back to their records. CodyGibson, I feel like he's beaten the better guys like Chad Allinger, Brian Kelleher, who have some decent wins in the UFC, some UFC experience. But Aoriqileng, he's only been Johnny Munoz Jr., who was 2-3 in the UFC. He was professionally 14-4, but 2-4 in the UFC. And he beat Jay Perrin in 2022, who was 0-3 in the UFC. So just kind of based off the guys that they fought, CodyGibson has been fighting the better competition. As long as he gets to a decision, he should be able to outpoint Aoriqileng. But I do see Aoriqileng getting a finish as well. Right now, the odds have Aoriqileng at a plus 140. Gibson is a minus 160. But Gibson did open up as the underdog at a plus 145. And I can kind of see why. I do see the winning potential from Aoriqileng. So let me know what you guys are picking for this one. Let's go to the next fight. All right, guys. So in this next fight, we have KyleNelson versus MattFrevola. MattFrevola is going to probably try to use a striking to knock out Nelson. Frevola does have some grappling with him, but I feel like Nelson's going to be the better grappler here, who's going to want to take it to the ground. For Bola, I'm hoping he gets a KO. I'm really hoping he comes back strong and gets a KO over Nelson. Frevola has been fighting way better people, like the names of Farizzium, Benoit Saint-Denis. And then right before that, he was on a 3-fight first-round finish streak. He might be able to put out Nelson, who isn't really, he's decent. He is Canadian, so he does have that with him. But he's 34, 16-6. He's only 4-5 in the UFC, and he just got knocked out by Steve Garcia in the first round. Frevola has a good chance to knock out Nelson in the first round. Right now, the odds have Nelson at a minus 105. Frevola is a very slight favorite at a minus 115, but he did open up as an underdog, so I can understand why. Frevola coming off of those losses could have like a mental effect on him. It could make him, not as confident. So let me know what you guys think about this one. Let's go to the next fight. All right, guys. So for this next fight, we have CharlesJourdain versus DaveyGrant. Honestly, guys, when I first saw this, I knew that I was going to pick Jourdain to win. I'm going to be picking him by decision, but I do get why the odds are the way they are. Jourdain is the favorite at a minus 173, but Grant is a plus 148. Jourdain opened up at a minus 200 though. It seems like the odd makers think that he should win here, and I kind of agree. I feel like he should be closer to a minus 200. At least that's how I feel. I may be biased just because as soon as I saw the fight, I thought he should win, especially in Vancouver, Canada. So if you guys look at the records, it's not the most impressive coming from CharlesJourdain, who only has a win over Victor Henry recently. He got a second round choke in November of 2024, so last year. But before that, he was fighting some decent names like John Silva, Sean Woodson. So those are pretty good guys, And then before that, he beat Ricardo Ramos, Kron Gracie, Kron. I remember that Kron fight, man. That was embarrassing. And then DaveyGrant on the other side, he is coming off a 2-fight win streak. In his last 3 fights, all 3 of them have gone to decision. So I think that's why Jourdain's going to go to decision with Grant. The Canadian judges maybe are going to be swayed to the Canadian Jourdain and give him the win. In this one, it might be a close match and Jourdain wins by split decision. Let me know what you guys think about this one. It seems like the odd makers do agree that Jourdain should win here too, though. But yeah, guys, let's go to the next fight. All right, guys. So for this next fight, we got BrunoSilva versus HyunSungPark. Guys, in this one, I was actually surprised to see that Silva was a plus 215, Park was a minus 255. Park actually opened up at a minus 300, which I thought was insane. I understand that Park is pretty decent. He lost to Tyra recently, who's obviously really good. Before that, he was on a 3-fight win streak. And I get it, 3-fight win streak. You kind of ignore the Tyra loss. But I don't know, guys. People aren't ignoring the losses that Silva has to, obviously, the title contender right now, Joshua Van. So that doesn't count in my eyes. Manel Kape, who also arguably could have fought for the title. But before that, Silva was on a 4-fight win streak, 4 performance bonuses of the nights in rounds 1 in one of the fights, and then the other 3 fights round 2. Either choking or striking. So I don't know. BrunoSilva is getting kind of disrespected here. He's been fighting the way better people. He should be able to win here, guys. He's going to be able to finish Park in this fight. I'm thinking submission in round 2, but I'm thinking round 2 for sure. I just don't know if it's TKO or submission. I'm going to go with submission because HyunSungPark has been submitted before in the second round. So let me know what you guys think about this one. He is a moderate underdog, but I don't know, guys. I kind of like this pick. And you guys, if you guys watch my channel, I usually don't pick, I don't want to say he's a big underdog, but he's a moderate, pretty decently big underdog. And I kind of like him to win here. So I'm really hoping BrunoSilva wins here. Let me know what you guys think about this one. Let's go to the next fight. All right, so for this next fight, we have DannyBarlow versus DjordenSantos. Guys, in this one, I was a little unsure. But then I kind of looked at DannyBarlow's record and I was like, you know what? It's not that bad. DannyBarlow's only loss is to Sam Patterson, who's on a really big winning streak at the moment. So I don't really count that one. He beat Nikolay Veretennikov by split. And he beat Josh Quinlan, which I do think he should have been able to finish him. And he did in the 3rd round. And then DjordenSantos, I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't just base it off the UFC wins, but he's already lost his UFC debut versus Ozzy Diaz. He's only won his Dana White's Contender Series fight by a decision. So it's not really that impressive coming from DeJordan. I feel like in this one, DannyBarlow should be able to win by decision. Knowing that Santos is pretty durable, it seems like a lot of his fights go to decision. Barlow could finish Santos, but I think most likely it's going to decision. Right now, the odds have Barlow at a minus 300. Ribeiro or DeJordan is a plus 250, and I kind of agree with the odds in a sense. Barlow opened up at a minus 300, so it seems like the odd makers and the bettors kind of feel the same way, and I do think Barlow wins this one. I don't want to say I'd be completely surprised if Santos wins, but I just don't think he's going to win. Let me know what you guys think about this one. This one was pretty straightforward. I just don't like picking Santos here, even betting him. So yeah, guys, I feel like Barlow should be able to take this one. Let's go to the next fight. Okay, guys, so for this next fight, we have KylePrepolec versus DrewDober. Guys, in this one, as soon as I saw it, I knew I was going to pick Dober too. I'm going to be picking him by round 2 TKO. But I was a little surprised to see him at a minus 550. Prepolec is a plus 400. Dober opened up at a minus 300, which I understand, if he has the UFC experience. Even though Prepolec has had some fights in the UFC, he's 0-3 in the UFC. So I think that's kind of mostly why the odds are the way they are. But in saying all that, I am going to be picking Dober on this one by a finish, which I do think most likely happens here. But I'm leaving the option open to see if Prepolec gets a win here. I can see him getting a decision win. Maybe. I don't think he's going to finish Dober. I could see it going most likely to a decision and Prepolec winning like a split or something. Especially that he is Canadian. He might get swayed by the judges and get the win that way. So I don't know. You never know. I feel like Prepolec does have a chance though, especially at these odds. Let me know what you guys think about this one. I'll probably be betting like 50 cents on Prepolec by decision or KO, knowing Dober has been getting finished recently. Dober has been finished in his last 2 fights. Well, at least in the last one, he got knocked out by Manuel Torres in the first round. But before that, it was a doctor stoppage. So you can't really blame him for that one. But in the last 5 fights, he has been finished twice in the first round. So if it continues on that downfall, I can easily see Dober losing and getting finished. But I don't think so. I feel like Dober should be able to prove that he's a better guy here. He should be able to get a finish of his own and maybe come back and have some wins. But let me know what you guys think about this one. Not crazy confident with the Dober pick, but I do see the value in Prepolec maybe possibly winning. But yeah, guys, let's go to the next fight. So for this next fight, we have StephanieLuciano versus RavenaOliveira. Guys, in this one, I don't want to say I was pretty confident in Luciano, but once I kind of saw it, I was like, you know what? I feel like Luciano is going to get the win here. And I was right. I looked at their stats or their wins recently or their records, and I was like, yeah, Luciano should probably be able to win here. Right now, the odds have Luciano at a minus 280. Ravena is a plus 240. Stephanie opened up at a minus 325. So it seems like the odds makers do think that Luciano should win here. And I agree. Luciano is just probably better here. Her last fight was a split decision loss versus Sam Hughes, which, you know, Sam Hughes is pretty decent. And then she does have that win over Talita Alencar, which is like a grappler. And she's going to be fighting Ravina, who all of her wins, mostly all of them come from knockout. And Luciano has never been knocked out. You know, not to base it too much on MMA math, don't see Ravina finishing Luciano. That's why the odds are the way they are. I'm going to be picking Luciano pretty comfortably, but just knowing that Ravina has some finishes by a KO could be pretty decent. But I don't know. I feel like I might be donating on that one because I do think Luciano takes the decision win. Let me know what you guys think about this one. I don't really expect much from this one, but yeah, let's go to the next fight. So for this next fight, we have AzamatBekoev versus YousriBelgaroui. Guys, in this one, man, as soon as I saw the fight, I knew I was picking Azamat, guys. Azamat is pretty decent. Recently, he's been on a tear. 3 fights that he's finished with finishes. The last 2 being in the UFC in the first rounds versus Ryan Loder, Zach Reese. You know, not the best names, but it's pretty impressive that he's doing that, and especially in the first round. And guys, Yusri, if you guys didn't know, he trains with Alex Pereira. I think they've actually fought before. I think he's fought Izzy as well. But I don't know, man. That was in kickboxing, and I feel like, I don't know. I just don't think this guy's getting better. I've never been impressed by him. Even in his Contender Series fight, I just was not impressed, even though he finished the guy in the 3rd round. You know, the 3rd round. So Yusri doesn't have that finishing capability, and especially versus Azamat, who's very dangerous early on. He's just not going to be able to answer what Bekoev throws at him. So that's why I'm going to be picking Bekoev by round 2 finish. He can get a finish on Yusri and be the first one to KO him or finish him professionally. Right now the odds have Azamat at a minus 290. Yusri is a plus 245, and I can see why. I feel like Azamat has just been doing really well recently. He opened up at a minus 500, guys. So the odd makers really see the value in, not the value, but like how good Bekoev is. And honestly, guys, I don't want to bet on Yusri. I don't trust him. If I had to pick Yusri by decision, and I might just throw 50 cents on it just because, you know, it's possible. But I really do think that Azamat wins this one here. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about this one. Azamat seems to be maybe that guy, depending if he gets another finish on this one versus the guy that hasn't been finished. So let me know what you guys think about this one. This one should be exciting. Let's go to the next fight. All right, guys. So for this next fight, it's actually the first fight of the night this coming Saturday, but the last fight of the video. We have MelissaCroden versus TainaraLisboa. Guys, on this one, when I first looked at it, I was like, you know what, I'll pick Croden. But the more I look at it, the more skeptical I get. Right now, the odds have Croden at a minus 119. Lisboa is a minus 101. Croden opened up at a plus 235. And I can kind of see where the odds makers are coming with this one. Because Lisboa, she already has 2 wins in the UFC. Maybe, even me, are kind of like picking Croden because it's in Canada. She has 2 wins in the LFA, but that's the LFA, you know? Versus a girl named Ashleen Dean, who is 8-7, and she, yeah, not the best person. And then she beat a girl named Katharina Lechner, who is 9-7, but still, you know, it's just not the best wins. And now she's fighting a girl who's 2-1 in the UFC. So I have some doubts, but I'll be picking Croden, you know, just because it's mostly in Canada. Honestly, I feel like that's what's kind of convincing me here. But in saying that, I'll be betting probably Lisboa to win by like split decision or just like a decision or something. Because I feel like Lisboa can easily win here and just kind of show levels. But I'm going to be siding with the Canadian on this one, picking Croden. She was a big underdog, but it seems like the bettors kind of think that Croden has some value here. You know, she turned to the slight favorite. But still, I like the pick'em odds. I kind of agree with that. So we'll see with this one. Hopefully I don't regret it. Hopefully, you know, Croden sets the standard for the Canadians and the Canadians start to win. So you never know. You could throw her in a Canadian parlay. So yeah, guys, let me know what you guys think about the fights. And yeah, guys, that was the last fight of the video. I really appreciate you guys watching. Right now, I'm ranked number 911 on UFC Tapology. I don't want to make excuses, but I didn't save my picks. So I only got 5 picks right for the real card. It should have been 8, but still, you know, not too great. I did okay for Dana White's Contender Series fights, which were today, week 10. I got 5 out of 6, so I did decent there. So I have a good feeling about these next cards. I feel like I'm getting better. But still, I have to improve on my picks. I have to go back to my old style of just trusting my gut. This is my investment account balance. Every weekend I put $25 into this account, which was usually the same amount that I've been betting, but I'm going to be betting a little less, like 10 to 15. So I feel like once I start getting better, I'll go back to 25. But regardless, that's my account balance. I'm going to keep going with that. And yeah, guys, I really appreciate you guys watching the video. Please like the video, please comment. And if you guys haven't subscribed, I really hope you guys do. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. Right now we have 118. So I really would appreciate if you guys subscribe if you guys haven't, if you guys watch the videos. Yeah, guys, I really appreciate it. And I'll see you guys in the next video.
Bring your ass up on the stage.